Rookidee Community Day is this weekend in Pokemon GO, but are you fully ready for this event? Is Rookidee's evolution line even good in this game? What is the Community Day move? And right at the end we will discuss, is this Calm Day even worth your time and worth playing? This is Rookidee Calm Day with Go With Us. As always, dates up first. Guys, Rookidee Calm Day is going to be taking place this weekend on Saturday, the 30th of August from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, so a 3-hour time frame, which means it's time to focus on our new Community Day Pokemon, Rookidee. Rookidee is a flying-type Pokemon originally coming from the Galar region in Generation 8. Rookidee can evolve into Corvisquire using 25 candy, which is also a pure flying type, but then it evolves into Corviknight, which takes on a steel and flying typing using 100 candy. It's worth mentioning now that up until 10 p.m. that night, if you evolve Corvisquire into Corviknight, it's going to learn the charge move, which is going to be Air Cutter. This is huge for this Pokemon, and we're going to discuss why at the end. It has a max CP of 2777, which isn't the highest, but we can probably see where this is going already. It has an attack of 163, which is actually below average, but it has a defense of 192, which is about average, but a stamina of 221, which is above average. So immediately more of a defensive Pokemon. It takes increased damage from something like electric and fire, and it resists so many different things. Dragon, Fairy, Flying, Ground, Normal, Psychic, Steel, but it double resists Bug, Grass, and Poison. The fast attacks it has access to is going to be 3, Steel Wing, Air Slash, and Sand Attack. And its charge moves it has access to is going to be Iron Head. Bear in mind that is a legacy charge move, which you will need an Elite TM for. It can learn Sky Attack, Payback, and now, of course, Air Cutter. What a lot of people don't know about Air Cutter is that Air Cutter is a flying type charge move, but the great thing about Air Cutter is that in trainer battles it does 45 damage, in gyms and raids it does 55 power, but it has a 30% chance to increase your attack by 1 stage, which takes this Pokemon to a completely new level, especially in something like PvP, but again, we'll look at that just now. Let's get onto those bonuses now. It's going to be quarter egg hatch distance, which is going to be the main bonus of this Calm Day. 2 times catch candy will be active for all trainers. Trainers level 31 and up will receive double the chance of receiving XL candy when catching Rookidee. Lure modules activated during this event will last for 3 hours, and the same goes for incense. It'll also last for 3 hours, but that does not include the daily incense. We can take snapshots to get photobombed 5 times by Rookidee encounters. Bear in mind that this Rookidee can be shiny. Speaking of shinies, it's a good time to mention as well that every single Rookidee you will see in this 3-hour time frame will have a 1 in 25 shiny chance. Because we're still in the middle of the delightful day season right now, we can do 1 additional special trade per day, but on this day we'll do a total of 3, which is awesome because it stacks. And trades up until 10 p.m. that night will also cost 50% less Stardust. There will be specific field research surrounding Rookidee. Generally the task is to catch 3 Rookidee, and we can get Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Pineapple Berries, as well as Stardust, but we can also get an encounter with Rookidee, and that 100% CP, in other words, if you get an encounter with this number, it will definitely be a hundo, will be 285. It doesn't end there. If trainers want to upgrade their Community Day experience for a total cost of $2, you can do so, and you're pretty much going to get an extra 10 encounters with Rookidee, as well as premium battle passes, silver pineapple berries, and incenses as well. Great, details are out of the way, but how good is Corviknight even in Pokemon GO? But more importantly, what are some top tips we should be focusing on? Let's look at Corviknight, especially with its new move, which is going to be Air Cutter. Currently, as of recording this video, Corviknight is sitting in the 14th spot. It's breaking into the top 15, which is incredibly impressive. The optimal IV sets you want there is going to be a 0, 13, 14. In the Ultra League, it's ranked even better. It's sitting in the top 5, currently at the 4th spot of recording this video. But guys, the optimal IV set you want there is going to be a 0, 15, 15. And even in the Master League, it shines relatively okay at a ranking of 295 with that XL candy. So it's definitely going to shine better in the Great and Ultra League. How this is going to change the game for Corviknight in already an extremely dominant Pokemon in the Great League and Ultra League is that it's pretty much going to give you a bait option. What a bait option is something that can charge very quickly, but you can bait the opponent into thinking you might be throwing a different move, but you could be throwing that move, or vice versa. It's an incredibly useful tool, especially for someone that's getting into Go Battle League or wants to improve and get to that advanced stage, because guys, baiting is a huge thing in the game, and it has key wins wins against something like a Golisopod, Clodsire, Gligar, Marowak, Azumarill, a lot of the great Pokemon in the Great League. Unfortunately, on the raid attacking side of things, Air Cutter is not going to translate that well at all, just simply because it actually brings the DPS down of this Pokemon. If we look in the flying type category right now, it's only in the 75th spot with a Sky Attack combination, and even in the Steel type category, it's barely breaking into the top 100. As you can see, this Pokemon is very much built to be a PvP Pokemon and not a raid attacker in this game. Top tips time, starting off with number 1, which is going to be candy gains. This is an incredible opportunity to get candy as well as XL candy for these Pokemon, because as we know, and we've just seen in the Ultra League, we need XL candy on Corviknight. The best thing you're going to want to do is Mega Evolve a level 2 or level 3 flying type Pokemon, because flying is going to hit the same type that Rookidee is. Stacking with the bonuses that already give us double the candy as well as 2 times the chance of getting XL candy, there's going to be no problem getting candy on this day, so please, that is going to be your most effective way of getting candy. The second thing we would look at actually has nothing to do with this community day. Look at the quarter egg hatch distance bonus. Guys, you've got a few days to do this. I want you guys to accumulate 12 kilometer eggs. As you can see, I'm doing that in my bag right now. I want you to try and get 12 kilometer eggs. Hatching 12 kilometer eggs on a star piece can generally grant you about 70 to 100,000 Stardust. But a hidden tip here, at level 75 of your August Go Pass, the tier there states that it's going to be 2 times hatch Stardust for every single egg that we hatch. Guys, get to level 75, which means that this Stardust total is now gonna double. Literally, in one batch of eggs, you could accumulate over 150,000 Stardust just in one batch of eggs, and once those eggs have hatched, I would strongly recommend filling up with 7 kilometer eggs if there's something in that pool you really want to go after, or just hatch eggs throughout that 3-hour time frame while you're catching Rookidee. Again, you're just going to add to that Stardust bank, which we always know, and as we've just seen over Eternatus this last weekend, we're going to need a lot of Stardust to power up these D-Max, G-Max, and of course, Eternatus itself. Guys, Stardust is the hottest commodity in this game. Because Corviknight is strictly a PvP Pokemon, we would strongly recommend going to Go Stadium, which is the rank checker. What this site does is that you can punch in the stats of certain Pokemon. In this case, it would be Corviknight or Rookidee, and you would be able to see which stats are ranking the best for you in specific leagues. There are hundreds and hundreds of combinations of stats to look through to see which are going to suit your needs best, and especially if you're into PvP, what a great tool to use. Please check that out. Also look out for the Bird Keeper Platinum Medal, which requires you to catch 2,500 flying type Pokemon. Because Rookidee is a flying type, there is no better day to try and chip away this medal, and if you grind very hard, you could even complete it if you grind extra hard. I would also recommend, last but not least, is to clear your bag. At least try to have 3, 4, 500 spaces, as well as about 3 to 4 to 500 Pokeballs, depending on how many you plan to catch on this day. This is going to be your most effective way of catching as many Pokemon, because it's really about getting the numbers instead of spending another 10 to 15 minutes clearing out space just because you didn't have any. Try and prepare beforehand so you go in there clear, concise, and you know exactly where and how you want to play. Guys, if you want to see everything that's going on this week in Pokemon Go, please check it out on my left. This is really going to help you week by week determine what's going on so you don't get lost in all of the information, because it can be quite overwhelming, and we break it down in a very simple format for you. This is Rookidee Community with Go With Us. Appreciate you being here. Please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Again, it really helps us grow this channel, and one of these days we're going to show you the stats because it's growing by the day. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby.